Well, let's get started on World 2, Whomp's Fortress. Star number 1, chip off Whomp's block. And here we get a few further camera instructions, as well as a trick for killing piranha plants, which is going to come in handy a little later, but not now. Now, those of you who've played Galaxy 2, but not this game, will definitely remember this. And we're going to go down here, and in the corner over there, there's a shortcut that leads near the top of the fortress. So those things are called Whomps. This is, as far as I know, their first appearance in a Mario game, their first of many. Come on, okay, let's try getting this next one instead. And there we go, we're already at the top, and this guy is the Whomp King. And that dialogue is exactly the same in Mario Galaxy 2, by the way. So the battle begins, and it's fairly simple. Let it try to crush you, then it's gonna fall, ground pound it, and repeat 2 more times. Come on. Ah! Come on, how could I miss something so huge? And of course, that didn't count because it already started getting up, even though that makes no sense. Nintendo logic. And there we go. Hit number 2. And let's try this again. Alright, it's dead. And once again, exact same dialogue as in Galaxy 2, but who cares? It gives us our first star in Whomp's Fortress. Now, we need 10 stars in order to be able to enter the wing cap course, so we need another one. So let's make way for star number 2 to the top of the fortress. Basically, what you want to do is you're going to head back to the exact same place where you obtained the first star, except now instead of a humongous Whomp, you're going to get an extra tower that you gotta climb. We're going to take a look at it in just a minute. Of course, I'm going to take that shortcut again. Really handy for saving time, of course. I'm not speedrunning this game, contrary to what some people suggested after I got 8 stars in the first part. So yeah, here's the tower that we gotta climb. There is a shortcut that we can use to get up there faster if you're a pro at wall jumping, which I am not, because the timing for wall jumping has to be perfect in this game. It's a lot more forgiving in Sunshine, the Galaxies, and even Mario 64 DS, but here it's a lot more difficult to pull off, so I'm just going to go the long way around instead, and I'll make sure to get it on the first try that way. There we go! It wasn't any more complicated than that, and now we got the 10 stars that we need to enter the wing cap course. So what you want to do is we're going to head back to the lobby, if we can call it that, and this is going to be really familiar for those of you who played Sunshine. What you do is that you go into that thing, you look up, and there we go. We're in the wing cap course all of a sudden, which is the same way to enter Noki Bay in Sunshine, but that's just some random trivia. So let's try to nail those first 2 red coins here. Alright, the first 6 you gotta get them on your first pass through, and nope, not gonna work. So I'm just going to press the switch so that I at least get something done in this run, and after that I'll commit suicide, because you only get one chance to get those first 6 red coins. Otherwise, you can just commit suicide, and actually, if you commit suicide in this place, you don't lose a life, so it's all good. But not that lives matter much in this game anyway. So there we go. First 2 coins. Now the next 2 are inside this little ring of coins here. Next 2, same thing, but we're going faster and faster since we're going down. And let's try to get the last 2 on the first try. Nope, not gonna work. But thankfully, if it's just those 2 that you're missing, you can salvage your attempt. I'm gonna pick up another wing cap since you never know when your previous one's gonna run out, and I'm gonna triple jump in place, which is something you can only do with the wing cap. Oh, so close to the last one. So I'm just going to head back to the tower, ground pound to land, and then jump on this little thingy here. And there we go, we're gonna get the last red coin. There we go. So now, this is star number 11, and once we're going to have picked that one up, we're gonna head back to Bob-omb Battlefield to pick up the last 2 stars that we need, which are star number 5, Mario Wings to the Sky, and the 100 coin star, which is going to be our very first one in the game. And you will notice that those 100 coin star are really time-consuming, even the easier ones. So, yeah, things are going to really slow down from here on in, because, yeah, I got 11 stars in 20 minutes, but, of course, I'm not going to be able to keep up that pace. So, yeah, all you're doing here is running around, grabbing coins. I'm going to try not to pull a chugga, that is, stop commenting, putting the thing on turbo and playing music instead. I think I can attempt to provide interesting commentary as I go. And you gotta be careful with those little boxes that have 3 coins in them, because they're gonna tend to go all over the place, those coins. So if you're not quick enough, you're going to lose them permanently. So it's a good idea to try and smack them into a wall that's close to you instead of... Because the thing is that if you throw those boxes, they'll just keep sliding on the ground until they hit something. And if you're far away, then this lowers your chances of grabbing every coin in the box. And the bombs here give coins, ouch, as well. Not my best idea ever. And by the way, the bombs respawn once you go far enough, but the coins don't. You only get coins for the first time you kill a bomb. And if you remember this fence, it was that we saw it in the 8 red coin star. This is what's on the other side. So once we are going to get to the other side, we can open up a shortcut to get back here more quickly. Not that this is a very difficult world to navigate, making this shortcut essentially pointless. And there we go. I'm just going to destroy that shell so that it doesn't come back into it. And oh, Jesus Christ, are you telling me that Koopa Troopa? Oh my God, I have never seen this do that. I have beaten this game countless times, and the Koopa Troopa is only running all the way up the hill. And for those of you who are wondering why I didn't keep the Koopa shell, it's because I'm not very comfortable with Koopa shells in general in this game. Alright, there we go. Decided to go down, and from there it was, well, not a piece of cake, because that thing actually runs decently fast for a turtle. And this time I'm going to save the floating island for later, since there are a lot of coins that can be accessed from this island. Floating coins in the sky that you need the wing cap to reach. So yeah, I'm going to keep that for the end so that I don't have as many coins to grab once I get to that point. Because there are, to my knowledge, something like 45 coins up in the air. Of course, it would be extremely tedious to try and get all 45, so I'm trying to shorten the time I'm going to spend in the air by grabbing as much coins as I can at ground level. Now I'm just going to kill those Goombas, and then I'm going to show you a thing that a surprising amount of people ignore. It's that if you run around those logs here, eventually there are 5 coins that are going to pop up, like that. So, yeah, as I said, there are a surprising amount of people who don't seem to know that, and in the DS version, you can also pound those logs into the ground and the coins will pop up, but that's only in the DS version. And by the way, it doesn't work if you already ran around them, so you can't get 10 coins from those logs instead of just 5. It's just one set of 5. It's whichever you do first between running around them and ground pounding them. I recommend ground pounding them in the DS version because the controls are a little less conducive to running around stuff quickly like that. So now we got another one of these boxes. Stay as close to the wall as possible, and there we go. All 3 remained relatively close, so I got them all again. And don't worry too much if you fail to grab a coin. As I said, there are 45 in the air. Ouch! Well, that sucked. Stuff falling from the sky and I don't see it until the last minute. That's not exactly my idea of fun, but whatever. Boom, give me the coin. And by the way, you may notice that Come on! I couldn't shake that thing. You may notice that the video quality is a bit better than in the last video. That's because I turned up the quality from 75% to 78%, which makes an interesting difference. Of course, I tested it beforehand, and just to give you an idea, at 70, it's nearly unwatchable, so it really shows that every percent counts, since, okay, this one's at 78, I don't know if this will actually work. If it doesn't, then I'm just going to put it back down to 75, but I think 78 is going to work. Maybe I could increase it a little higher, but I'm going to try this in later videos so as not to do the same boring part of the game over and over again. Oh, come on! Are you kidding me? Oh, gee. Well, let's try this again. Long jump to gain a little bit more momentum of that slope. Run, Mario, run! There we go. And now I'm going to keep on going up because, as I recall, there are a few coins over by that cannon you see over there. Quite an odd location for a cannon, since there's not much you can shoot at except for the top of the mountain. Come on. Grab that bomb! Grab it! Thank you! Alright, so we got 83 coins now. This actually went by fairly fast, but as I said, this is one of the easier ones. And now I'm not going to take the warp because there are a few coins past this place. Jump over there. There's a bomb guarding the cannon that shoots all those annoying bubbles. Give me the coin. There are 5 more coins here. And then I'm going to try and get over to that after the... Come on. No! Oh, jeez. That was a 1-2 punch right there. I was waiting for that black ball to get by, but then another one followed immediately. So, yeah, talk about getting smothered by giant black balls. Yeah, of course, feel free to make jokes out of that. That was the entire point. But whatever. As I said, the bombs regenerate, but their coins don't. And here we go. Got 5 more coins. So now I only need to pick up 6 coins from the sky. Actually, I'm not sure, but I think I collected every single coin I could before heading to the floating island. So if you got 94... at that point, then it's excellent. Now, we already got that star. We're here for the last 2 that we haven't gotten before. If I can just backflip. There we go. Now this is our 100 coin star, which appears immediately above where you picked up the 100th coin. Sorry, in Mario 64, and like in Sunshine, where it goes to a predetermined location. I'm gonna try and... Damn, this thing's sensitive. Oh, let's give it a try from this angle. Alright, there we go, and we'll fall back on the island. So now all that's left to do is star number 5. There are 5 rings of coins in the air, and you gotta go through the middle of all 5 rings if you want the star to appear. You can see the center of each ring from a little farther than the rest of the coins. 2, 3. Alright, so we got through the center of 3 of those rings. There's one that's really high in the sky. Gonna try and get it. Alright, now there's one last one. Come on, no, I missed it. Oh, I completely lost control. There are some people who can do this without the wing cap, but I'm not nearly skilled enough to do that. Same thing for those who do it with the wing cap, but from one cannon shot. Those guys are really pros, and I don't really recommend trying it yourself unless you're amazingly better than I am at this game. So now we're back on the floating island, and I think I don't need the cannon to reach that last one. I'm just going to refresh the wing cap just in case. And whoa! Oh! Okay, no, that wasn't the right ring, and this... Oh! Well, I was a little too far away from the center of the ring, but it registered anyway. Well, not that I'm complaining. Give me the star, and we're done with Bob-omb Battlefield forever, since we collected all 7 stars in this area. So now that this is done, after the 100 coin star from Bob-omb Battlefield, we're going to be doing the 100 coin star in Whomp's Fortress. Yay! More collectathons! But it's going to wait until next time, since we're already out of time. So see you then!